Okay, hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, it's a very exciting day, okay? This video is going to be me swatching all of the most beautiful eyeshadows in my collection. I know. What more could you want? And if you don't want to watch this, then you probably have come to the wrong place, the wrong channel. Because I don't think I need to give any type of disclaimer or reason for why I'm doing this, because I just don't know what more you could possibly want. Okay, so let's get into it, because I'm just gonna fucking start, because there's really not a lot else to say. Now, this whole entire palette could be considered the most beautiful part of my entire collection, and I don't know how I managed to narrow this palette down. These are all of my most beautiful sparkly shadows. For reference, these are Clionadh, these are ShinebySD, and these are JDGlow, the big pans, but I've managed somehow, some way to narrow it down. So first, let's just start off with Clionadh. This is the shade Abrasion. Grisaille it's a very popular shade within the Clionadh range. But this is, to me, just, I love Grisaille, but this is like, it's better. Sister, twin, whatever, brother, sibling. It's just so stunning. It's such a beautiful, like, warm, plummy, or like plummy base with a bright blue shift. And I'm gonna do close-up swatches of these as well, because of course I am. It's so sparkly, so beautiful, just delicious in every way. The next Clionadh shade that is so beautiful is the shade Carving. This is so unique. It's so shifty. It's like a warm brown, like pinky base with a teal shift to it, but it's so shifty, it's so sparkly, and I feel like you can pair this with, it also has like green to it, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's so, I need to stop saying that. I'm gonna zoom you in because I feel like you need to see these shades more up close. And then this next shade I actually wore in my low buy update, and as soon as I put this on, I was like, this is just magic. It's the shade Enamel from Clionadh, and this is a cool toned periwinkle purple with like a blue and pink shift. I love shades like this. I love purples. I love like periwinkle, cool toned bluey purples, and this is next level, especially when you put it on your eyes and like you pair it with like blues and cool toned purples in your crease. It's next level divine. Moving on to some of my ShinebySD shades. I actually didn't think that I was going to love this as much as I do, but now I'm considering it to be one of the most beautiful shades in my collection. This is Reserve #1 from them. This is it looks like just a champagne in the pan, but this is like a pink shifting blue with like a champagne undertone, has like green to it. It's so shifty, so sparkly, so beautiful. It goes with so many different looks. Pink, purple, blue, green. Like it's deceivingly the most glorious shade that you've ever seen in your fucking life. And because it just looks like a champagne in the pan. And I've said that already, but I can't even begin to describe to you how special it is. And see, now I just want to put all of these in here. And another shade that looks deceivingly boring in the pan, this is Reserve #2. This is, again, a similar like a little bit of a deeper champagne base, but this is like peachy gold and green. I mean, need I say more? Because I feel like in my mirror that's in front of me and in my camera, I feel like it looks just like peachy champagne, but there's such a strong greeny base or greeny shift when you look at it like from the side, and when the light hits it, it's so special. And then another just beautiful periwinkle shade is Reserve number 4. Again, this is like a periwinkle bluey, cool toned base with like a beautiful purpley pink shift. It looks like it's literally glowing on your arm. It's ridiculously beautiful. Like, these shades are so special. It's a Canadian brand, it's a black-owned brand, and if you were wanting to check them out, I would. Okay, I'm also going to include one more that I wasn't going to include, but I can't stop using this. This is Reserve number 7. This is a yellow with a blue shift. Yeah, I have been searching for so long for a yellow shadow, and this is just sunshine and a shadow. It makes me happy just to look at. It's beyond. All right, now let's move into JDGlow. Again, just such a special brand and with such special shadows. So these 3 that I'm going to talk about are all Galaxy shadows from JDGlow. Ooh, these are highly magnetized. Okay, so this actually might be, period, full stop, the most beautiful shadow in my collection. It's Unexpected. I feel like anyone who has Unexpected also says this, but there's something so special about it. It's a warm brown base with green and purple, and there's blue in it. There's a little bit of pink. It just has such a beautiful sparkle and such a beautiful shine, and there's something so special about this shade. It's mesmerizing to look at. I absolutely love this, and I seriously think this is my favorite shadow in my collection. This shade I actually wore yesterday from JDGlow, and this is so unique. I haven't even seen anyone talk about a shadow that is the same as this. This is prismatic. This is a bright lime green shadow with a bright blue shift. And yesterday when I was wearing this, I also realized it has a pink shift as well. I don't know if that's because like the blue is like cool toned to it, so it appears like pink as well in your eye, but this is like a multi-chrome, literally, or a trio chrome or whatever. Again, super sparkly. It's so magical. It's so magical. And then last but definitely not least, from JDGlow, we have the shade Anomaly. This is a blue to purple sparkly duochrome, and the way that this looks, oh my god, do you see that? The way that this looks under like direct sunlight is unrivaled. Ugh, that is like a mystical sea filled with like mermaids. I don't know, but as Lauren May Beauty always says, I'm feeling the full fantasy of that. And like I said, I feel like this whole palette could be included in this video, but I felt like I should narrow it down. Okay, and so now to move on to some more of my singles. I actually think I just want to include one more. So this shade is from Looksy, and this is the shade Slither. Again, it's one that is deceivingly beautiful. It doesn't look like much in the pan, and it's not as sparkly as the other shades that I've swatched here, but it has such a unique shift to it. It's a bronze with a red shift and like a green undertone. I've never experienced any other shade like this, and it's so like grungy and deep, but with so much dimension. And every time I swatch this and use this, I'm like, this is such a special, special shade. And I don't have an extensive singles collection, so these are all of the Most Beautiful singles that I own. And I'm going to move into some palettes because we can't forget about palettes because there's so many beautiful shades that I have in my palettes as well. Let's just start off with Pat McGrath because the Celestial Divinity palette really gives me a lot of options to include in this video, and now I can't narrow it down, but I'm gonna try. So the shade Dragonfly is next level. There are a lot of shades that are like warm, like blue-brown pigments and stuff like that, but this gives that vibe, but is something else entirely. It has a warm orangey base with a pink tone to it and a greeny gold flip. I mean, I don't think I need to say much more. It's so, so special. All of the shades from this palette are so beautiful, but I also want to mention the shade Corruption because the shift on this is so strong. It's so beautiful. It's a dark burgundy with a beautiful like orangey gold shift. Like from the front facing it looks really burgundy, but from the side it looks straight up like orange. I don't know if you can see, hopefully you'll be able to see when I do close-up swatches, but it's so shifty. It's not quite as sparkly, but the shift on this is so strong and so unique. Not even maybe unique, but I just love it so much. And this is one of the first shades that came to my mind when I thought about doing this video. A fun fact about me as well, there are a few things that I love more than a metallic, shimmery, glittery taupe. I don't know why, but I'm such a sucker for like a metallic taupe. It's really weird, but I love it. And one of my favorite metallic taupes is from the Lunar Beauty Moonspell palette, the shade Mary right here. Oh my god. If you are a taupe lover, you will love this. The shimmer and like glitter in this shade is so beautiful, and it makes this shade look like wet on your lids, and it just catches a light in such a beautiful way, but it also has like a little bit of warmth to it, so it's not like gray. It's a cool toned smoky brown. I don't know what to tell you. It's so beautiful. I also want to include the shade Prue because this is like one of my favorite iridescent like topper formula purples in my collection. So sparkly, so pretty, so pretty. Speaking of metallic taupes, the taupe in the Colored Rain Safari Rain palette is probably my other favorite taupe in my collection. It's the shade Amazon Basin. First of all, the shimmers in this palette in general are so creamy. Okay, just look at the way that this taupe swatches. Like, are you kidding me? It's not like super sparkly or super shifty or glittery or anything like that, but it's just such a beautiful metallic taupe. It's so shiny and I absolutely love it. Another just such a intense metallic shade. It's difficult to describe how shiny this shade is. The shade Lioness right beside it. Let me just show you. Hold on. So I swatched it. I did not pick up that much. Okay, you guys, hold on. That's fucking ridiculous. Like, that is ridiculous. How bright and beautiful that shade is. Like, there's something to be said about these iridescent, like sparkly shades, but just this is, that's stupid. That's like, that's so nice. I love Colored Rain so much, so much. Speaking of Colored Rain, I think I have a shade here from every one of their palettes. This is the Colored Rain Power Palette. I'm wearing this, part of this on my eyes today. I feel like purples like this, I have a lot of them. Little are as beautiful as this. This is, to me, the best of the best. This is the shade Truth. Again, just watch how the swatches. Are you watching? Okay. I mean, the vibrancy of this, the tone of this, the shine on this, like, everyone tries to do the shade of purple, but I don't have any purple that is executed as well as Colored Rain executed this purple. It's like almost, it just glows almost. Like, fuck me up. I don't know. It's so nice. So fucking nice. Colored Rain just does shadows right. And let's just do the final Colored Rain shade that I want to talk about. This is from the Juicy Boost palette. I don't know why more people don't talk about the shade Blueberry Burst, because it's, again, like stupidly beautiful. Like, this is a little bit more sparkly. It's a, I need to stop saying beautiful, but it is a beautiful, like, green, blue, again, like a sea with mermaids in it. I can't really, like, do... you know, but I am, again, feeling the aquatic fantasy with this shade, and the shine on this is unreal. The way that this looks on your lids is just divine. It's divine. All right, now let's pop into some Kaleidos palettes, because Kaleidos makes some of the most beautiful shadows in my collection, period, but this turquoise shade from the Electro Turquoise palette is next level. Those sparkle, it's actually a very similar shade to the Colored Rain shade. It's maybe a little bit more high shine and like a little bit more sparkly, but it's lighter and it has like a lighter shift to it, almost like a light gold shift to it. So sparkly, so beautiful. I mean, all of Kaleidos' like sparkly shimmer shades are stunning, but that is particularly stunning. I also want to talk about a shade from the Shasimi City palette. It's this middle shade right here. Oh my god. This, I think, is maybe supposed to be a multi-chrome, but it's like a pink, gold, sparkly shade, and it's, again, it's just beautiful. And there's little else to be said about it other than that. That's the problem. These shades are almost so beautiful that they like defy words. Oh my god. I cannot take myself seriously. You might just want to mute this video and honestly not listen to me talk at all. Let's go into the Jackie Aina and ABH palette to talk about the shade Zam. This shade holds up against all of my like special indie shimmers, and it's such a beautiful sparkly like rose gold shade. And this is a difficult roundup of shadows to compare to, but it holds its own even against like Kaleidos and Colored Rain shimmers. It's so sparkly, so beautiful, so shiny. Oh, another random palette. This is the ColourPop It's My Pleasure palette. The shade Mr. Sandman, which is the shade right here. Again, I feel like I have a ton of purples with like blue shifts, but this is something really unique. It's sparkly, it's super high shine, it's so smooth. It has like a warm plum base with a blue, like almost silvery blue shift. And now I have two shades that are, I think, probably pretty similar. I haven't actually swatched them out side by side. This is from the Natasha Denona Metropolis palette, so at least the price of this fucking palette is giving me a beautiful metallic shade. I wish there was more of this formula in this palette, but this is the shade Orium. I think it's supposed to be a duochrome. It is a duochrome. Again, it's just a beautiful warm base with like a goldy green shift. It's sparkly, it's shifty. It's not like the most shifty, but I'm a sucker for anything that has a warm base and like a green gold shift. And then we have the Beauty Bay Book of Magic palette. Sadly, so sadly discontinued. But the shade Crystal from this palette is just next level, you guys. Again, a warm tone base with like a green shift. Apparently, I can never have too many of these in my collection. But really sparkly, shifty, a little bit more sheer, but really, really pretty. All right, and those are actually all of the shimmers that I wanted to talk about. I'm surprised that I was able to narrow it down, but I think it's important that I did because otherwise I'd just be swatching all of my like sparkly eyeshadows. But I think it would be doing my palettes a disservice to not discuss some of the matte shades that I have in my collection that I love, because as much as I love metallics and I love sparkly shades, I love shimmers, don't get me wrong, but there's something to be said about a really beautiful matte shade that I personally think is criminally underrated, okay? So hear me out, let's just go into some of them together. Now, while this is not my favorite eyeshadow formula, and perhaps an overpriced palette, the Dominique Cosmetics Rustic Glam palette, the shade Evil Eye, is beyond beautiful. It's such a vibrant blue. It's just so bright and creamy and opaque and smooth, and I just think about the shadow a lot, like, and I gravitate for it, like every time I want to do a bright blue look. It's so intense and in your face, and it's really such a lovely color, and it's just so beautiful to look at as well. Like it's such a nice shade. Although I don't love, again, her formula, it's really beautiful. I also love a red, okay? And by far and away, my favorite red in my collection is the shade Mexicana from the Melt Amor Eterno Vita palette. I have a difficult time finding a really bright, like tomato red that's not too pink or too orange and that's pigmented and blends easily, and this has given me everything that I want from a matte red. It's stunning. shit nice, guys. Oh my god. And then I have two more palettes. One's more of an honorable mention because I actually just used it for the first time today, but I think it's such a beautiful shadow that I had to include it. But this one is tried and true. It's tried and true and tested. And this is another blue. It's from the Makeup Addiction Cosmetics Meadow palette. This blue, it's so good. Again, another criminally underrated palette. It's a beautiful navy blue that's so pigmented, so smooth, blends like an absolute fucking dream. It's so nice. It fills such a hole in my collection. I don't have nearly enough dark blues that are easy to work with. It's such an easy shadow to work with, and it's not a shade that you often find. And then last but not least, I want to talk about a shade from the Juvia's Place Warrior 3 palette. This is what I'm wearing in my crease today, and the tone of this purple is like, it's just so fucking good. It's the shade Candice. It's this middle shade here. I honestly don't know if I have another purple that has this tone to it. Oops, as I swatch it right over the other fucking shade. It's such a warm, like, almost red toned purple. I don't know. That is not the best swatch, but it actually like blends beautifully on the eyes. It's just like, like I said, I love a purple, and it's so beautiful. As I just like fuck up my entire arm with that disgusting swatch. But yeah, that is it, you guys. I hope that this was enjoyable. I really do, because what more could you want? Again, how many times can I say that? Okay, my camera just died and my battery is running out, so I'm going to leave the video here because I'm done anyway. So that's all you really need to see. Like I said, I'll do some close-up swatches of the shimmers. I feel like the mattes kind of speak for themselves. Let me know what the most beautiful shades in your collection are, and like, I truly mean that. Please tell me, because there's nothing more that I want than to buy more beautiful eyeshadow. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if there's anything else that you'd like to see from me. I did film this look, by the way. It is an upcoming video. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.